All right, guys, EZGO DCS. This one was dropped off a few weeks ago. When he dropped it off, the batteries were 5 years old. The controller that was in it no longer worked. It was an Ultrax controller. This is exactly what the battery box looks like here in the wiring. And it was only dropped off because he was wanting to get rid of this here, replace these micro switches with a rocker switch on the dash. Well, this has turned into so much more. What has it turned into? A lithium battery swap and a motor controller upgrade to a Navitas TSX3.0. So that's what we're going to be putting on today's cart. A lithium battery. We're also going to get rid of this right here unit and put a rocker switch on the dash. And we're going to clean some of these wires right here up as well and put a DC to DC converter in. So with that being said, let's get started. I'm going to come in here first, and we're going to scrape off majority of this right here and repaint in here to make it look a little bit better. So while we're waiting on the paint to dry, let's check out what we're going to be installing on today's video. If you're planning on doing any type of controller upgrade on any type of vehicle, I would say go with the Navitas. This is my favorite controller here if you're not doing an AC kit. Okay, plug and play. They come with the harness and everything. You got your owner's manual, got some stickers, and you got the on-the-fly remote. Now just note, when you get these remotes here, they come locked. It comes with 2 keys. Why would you need it to lock? Well, let's say you had kids or grandkids that want to ride the vehicle. You could get on it, you could unlock it, you could turn the speed down, the region up, and the acceleration down. Then you could go to lock it, and they can't adjust to anything. So if you have children, grandchildren, even a business, I would highly recommend the Navitas, just for the simple fact that you can lock these right here. That's just one feature that Navitas offers. Another feature, you can actually Bluetooth connect to these right here controllers as well, because see here, you have the Bluetooth connectivity with it. And one of the reasons this guy liked this right here so much is I sold it to him on the fact that he can actually lock his controller when he gets to the ball fields. Our town is very big on baseball, and when he gets to the ball fields, he can lock it. No one can actually take the golf cart without having to drag it out of the ball fields or wherever, because you cannot unlock this unless you have the same Bluetooth app that it did to lock it. So he liked that feature a lot about it. This is a simple unit, and I would highly recommend these right here. So once the paint dries, we're going to start assembling all of this right here. So if you're ever wondering what I did with my Ryobi that I converted over to lithium after I purchased it for $200, well, my neighbor who lives directly across the street from me, I had him in mind. He's probably one of my best friends in this neighborhood, and not only is he in his 70s, but he uses a push lawnmower to cut his grass in the front yard, but he has a lot bigger backyard. Anyways, I told him if he wanted it, he can just reimburse me the $200 and he can have it. And that's exactly what he did. He tried to pay me more, but I had him in mind. Now, I helped this neighbor here with a 58 Apache that's directly behind this right here door. If you're wondering how I charged it, well, I took off this factory plug here from the main charger that came with the unit here. It had actually 3 male plugs in it. I only used 2 to connect the power and the ground. I had this right here charger laying around, which is only a 10 amp charger, and he can actually plug it directly into the charging port back here to charge his battery, just like a regular, golf cart or whatever. And that's what happened with it. So that's the story on that. I never did update you on the last video, but hey, my neighbor can now cut the grass and ride instead of push at his age. Now to pair it with the Navitas, we're going to put a Weize 51.2 volt 105 amp hour battery. This is an entire kit. I'll link it down below, as well as the Navitas in the video description. You got your battery charger, you got your LCD screen, your cables, and your hardware for the battery. So this is the battery here. 2 handles, positive, negative on top. You have your connector on this right here side for your gauge. Now these batteries, they fit perfect into EZGO trays. The only modification you need to do is these right here, battery dividers for the lead acid battery, I just cut them off the back end here and cut them flush with the top. Just like that, they sit perfectly in place. And you have some wiggle room left to right. What I'm gonna do is probably end up putting just a ratchet strap around it just to hold it in place. But other than that, they're in. One of the things I like about what Weize has done here is they've included their battery monitor. This is the touch screen like you see in a lot of other ones, except this one is encapsulated. So I like that, probably the best. And we have that 6-pin plug that's gonna run from here all the way to the battery as well. Now the Weize charger here, you have a small Anderson connector there for your output. I was about to go and get some hardware, and I still need some hardware, but if you want to use the included bolts with nuts, you can. However, I like to run self-tappers through my chargers to keep everything down and fully secure, so that's what I'm gonna do. I really thought I was gonna take my truck to get hardware. Not a chance. The weather today is beautiful. Let's take a ride with the bad boy. Which way is Tractor Supply? I think it's this way. Pretty sure it's this way. Let's see. Yeah, it looks like I've been down this right here path before, so it's probably this way. I'm not exactly sure. I think it's back here somewhere. Pretty sure Tractor Supply is back here. Is it back here? I'm not sure, but this is why I take my buggy, because sometimes when you get bored, you just gotta have to make paths, and that's what I love about my bad boy. Anyways, let's get to Tractor Supply, because I think it's to the left, actually. Yep, it's this way. Not gonna lie, it is gorgeous down here with these big oak trees here in town. These things must be really old, but this is one of the ways to Tractor Supply. So I like to cut through here and check it out, but we're just gonna jump across the road here, and it's directly behind Slim Chickens. I love coming out here and seeing that in the parking lot rather than the car. Saving money on gas. I just got back from the hardware store, got me some self-tappers. I like to use the Toolant kit right here. This is a nut driver kit. You have a manual handle, you have metric and standard, and they're magnetic as well. So when you're going to install anything, the screw's just not gonna fall out. If you guys don't use these, or if you guys don't use these CC tools here, I'll link them down below in the orange shopping cart, but I actually love them. And I've been putting this right here, tool right here, through hell and back. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's been a tough one. And when I got it, I was just wanting something cheap. Well, I didn't sign up for something to last as long as this one has lasted for what I've paid for it. It's been very nice. And I got multiple batteries, but like I said, these are here. Everything I'm using in today's video is gonna be linked down below in the video description. Get on there and check it out. All right, so this afternoon kind of went by, not as planned. Had to help somebody with something. Chargers in, batteries in, controllers in, all the wiring is done. I've been trying to clean it up some. However, all of these wires are gonna be removed. I got to run this wire and these wires here up to the front for a switch on the dash. I had to mount the Navitas where I didn't mount this. This is the adapter, but I wanted to put it upside down so water wouldn't sit in it. Controller's in. Down is gonna be on, up is off for the tow run switch. I just mounted it there. The box won't fit over it. The solenoid's mounted to that plate as well. Still need to clean some wires up. So, still need to run to OTF and my battery gauge. I might do that later, or might do that first thing in the morning. But we're at this point here. I kind of want to see how it rides. So I'm thinking about let's taking it for a ride real quick. All right, we are rolling, and it wants to spin tires when you start, which is crazy. Now, another thing is, hit the pedal, didn't want to go. So what was I doing wrong? Well, I think I have a dirty connection on the foot switch connector. So we might change that in the morning. But as I kind of want to see how fast this DCS will run on 48 volts, and it really picks the speed up. So we're going to start our test run here like we normally do, and we'll see exactly what it looks like. By the time we get to the end of the road down here, this is the straightest road we have. So 3, 2, 1, let's get it. Yeah, we're rolling pretty good right now. Ride's really good. So I want to mount this right here, Navitas, on the dash, right? I'm gonna mount it right here, drill a hole, run this right here cable behind it so it's like a clean look. Now on the back of it, you have these nut certs right here. How do you know what size it is? Let me show you exactly what I have that I use to figure out things like right here. And maybe you can pick one of these up for your shop as well. This is a nut and bolt thread checker set, standard and metric, okay? You got male and female. So let's just pull this one out here. So you have a male, you have a female, and it tells you what size it is. There's a lot of different sizes here. And on this Navitas controller here, we're using an M5 0.8 pitch thread to fit in there. So when I go to the hardware store, I know exactly what size bolt I'll need, and I don't have to do any guesswork. So if you're looking for the bolt size, that's it. But if you're looking to add another tool to your shop, I would highly recommend this right here kit. And I'm gonna put it down in the video description as well. All right, grab yourself some painter's tape. Mark the holes with a screwdriver, a punch, or a magic marker, or whatever you want to. Put your tape where you want it. Pop your 2 holes exactly where you need it. Yank your tape off. There's your holes. Just got back from the hardware store. There's my bolts. All right, there it is. It's mounted. It's not coming off, so that's exactly what we wanted. No wires being seen. All the wires ran straight to the back. This is Red Hulk for you. Red Hulk sells this plate here for the EZGO Dash to fit in this spot right here. It looks like it's gonna work, right? Because we got our rocker switch is on, off, on. But check this out. It does not work. Why does the golf cart companies make things that doesn't work with standard size switches for? I don't know, but just aggravating is what it is. So we're gonna have to figure something out to make this right here switch work with this right here panel. I swear, it's always something. This right here plate was too big. The switch kept falling in and out of it. So I used it as a template, and I opened this hole up just a little bit on here. Hopefully we can cover some of this as well. Not 100% perfect at all, but hey, the switch don't fall out now. Way better. All right, so we have our plate in place, our FNR switch, our key switch, the Navitas is in, and I did the headlight switch right there. It looked so much cleaner than it did when it came in here. Now, the reason it was coming in here was because of this right here only. But we've done some other upgrades as well. With that being said, turn the key switch on, put it in forward, hit the accelerator pedal. We go forward. Put it in the middle section, neutral, it doesn't do anything. Put it in reverse. And we have reverse. So I have a video showing you how to make this modification right here. I go into full detail of how to wire this right here switch. It is stupid simple. There's no reason to overcomplicate this right here at all. Okay, so that works. Now you can get rid of this. However, if you have a series golf cart and you're trying to do this with a switch, you got to have a reversing contactor. You can't do this right here as simple on a series golf cart. This being a DCS golf cart, it has this on the back of it with the 2 micro switches. So if yours is different, you have a series cart and not a DCS, okay? I'll have a video of that coming soon. However, that is installed. I'll link this video here to show you how to make this right here switch on the dash and get rid of this right here at the end of this video or in the video description. So be sure to check that out. So I'm probably gonna end the video right here. The last thing that we need to do, I need to strap the battery in. I need to remove this right here, DCS, the original FNR lever. I'm going to remove this plate, put one of my plates in there with a NOCO. I have a DC to DC converter and a fuse block. I've gone over this right here numerous times as well on the channel. I'm gonna put that in, tighten everything up, and this right here cart's going to be done. So if you have a EZGO DCS cart, you want to upgrade to 48 volts, the easiest way to do that is with a Navitas TSX3.0 controller. I would highly recommend that controller. So with the Navitas TSX with 48 volts, you can expect about 22 to 25 miles per hour out of your cart. With that being said, guys, I appreciate y'all tuning in today, seeing this right here, what I worked on this past week, and hopefully I'll see you soon coming up. Like I said, everything I've used for this right here video will be linked in the video description below. See y'all later.